Hi everyone, this is Wave 618. So yeah, this is my first YouTube video, so exciting times for me, and I'm hoping this can be the first video of many. I'm hoping I can share my insight with you, and I really do hope that you'll find it useful. So just a bit about myself. I've been studying the charts for perhaps the last 10 years now, and largely using technical analysis, and I've explored so many different tools for technical analysis, and then I've kind of over time developed my favorite tools, which I can explain in further videos why I've chosen my specific technical analysis tools that I use. But yeah, as you can see, just looking at the chart before you, this is Bitcoin, currently looking on the daily charts. You can see the numbers that I've plotted, these numbers. So you may be familiar with Elliott wave. That's the predominant technical analysis tool that I use. However, I do use other tools to help confirm any moves, help me time my trades. But yeah, I want to focus on the Elliott wave pattern of Bitcoin today, purely because I think it's very interesting. It tells us exactly where we are at in the grand scheme of things, and which direction it's going to be going from here. So alright, let me start from the genesis. As you can see, I've started the numbering back from 2013. This is where I could see that the first initial movement was made. So I make this to be an impulsive wave, followed by a corrective pattern here, and then you can see a much more extended wave 3, which then retraces down to a wave 4. Now, if we look at this on the weekly chart, sorry, bear with me. If we look at this on the weekly chart here, you can actually see that wave 4 does overlap with wave 1. Now, strictly speaking, this would invalidate a Elliott wave pattern, because wave 4 should never overlap with wave 1. However, having said that, you do have to be flexible in trading, and I have seen these overlapping waves of wave 4 and wave 1. And the important thing to note is the closing price. You can see that the closing price here was around $212 for wave 4, whilst the closing price for wave 1 was around $169. So you can see that if you look at the closing price, they don't actually overlap. It's just the actual wicks, and I find that the wicks are usually created by market hysteria. It's usually the retail traders that are fearful of missing out of any potential move, and it ends up carrying the price beyond where it should be going. But then it suddenly comes back to where it should be when the smart money comes in, and that's why you can get these overlapping sometimes. But it's important to note that it's based on a wick and not a closing price that overlaps here. So that's why I still validate this move, and everything since this wave 4 back in 2015 has been a wave 5. That's what I believe. And I'm going to break that wave 5 down just so I can show you how it was formed. So that is actually the end of wave 5. It's a huge extension compared to these wave 1 and wave 3 here. And I believe this was the end of wave 5 that we experienced not too long ago. So yeah, it ended at 19,666, I believe the high was. You can see just there. So yeah, let me break down the wave 5 for you. So let's focus in on this. Here we've got a wave 1, wave 2 regular flat, wave 3, wave 4 triangle, wave 5. So this is wave 1 of wave 5, of major wave 5. Yeah. Then we've got wave 2 of major wave 5. And then wave 3 of wave 5 can be broken down into 1, 2, 3 is not here, because if that was 3, this would be 4, which would be massively overlapping with wave 1, so that cannot be 3, and that's why I've drawn 3 here, followed by a corrective wave 4 and wave 5 there. And then the final leg of the wave 5, which is wave 5 of 5, is here. So you've got wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. Now because we're on the weekly chart, it's not very clear. Let me go on the daily chart so it's a bit more obvious. So this final leg here, so that's your wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. So that's why I believe wave 5 came to an end. The other reason I believe that is the correct count, look at the drop since then. When do you ever see such a drop? Let's just calculate using Fibonacci exactly how much it has fallen. So from the Genesis, that's back here, if we draw a fib all the way up, our top was around here, yeah, so it's retraced, so beyond the 61.8% fib, yeah. What does that tell you? It tells you that this has to be a wave 2, you know. Typically wave 2s retrace beyond the 50% fib and quite classically end at the 61.8. As you can see here, due to the hysteria, as I said before, retail traders can take the price further than the fib when they're just jumping in on the trade out of fear of missing out. They take the price lower, and this is where your smart money comes in. Look at the high volume here. If you just look at that volume, you can see the dotted line that goes across to the left hand side from here. There's only been about a handful of instances where there's been higher volume than this spike here. What does that tell you? That tells you that whatever move happened at this on that day was significant, because volume validates price. Yeah. So there's two big indicators there. It's retraced 61.8% of the entire move up. There's been an awful lot of volume. It looks like the end of a wave 2. I'll break down this wave 2 for you to show you that I do believe it's finished, and I don't believe that it's got any further down to go. So let me just tidy this up a little bit. So we'll delete that. And alright, so let me break down this wave 2 for you. So wave 2s are corrective patterns, and this one is in fact an ABC pattern. So if I just draw simply first an ABC, which is my count for that's your wave A, your wave B, and your wave C. Now interestingly, if you do a Fibonacci retracement from here, sorry, bear with me, from the end of wave A and bring it to the top of wave A, look at that, wave C is an exact 1.618 extension of wave A. Sorry, not wave C. A to C is a 1.618 extension of wave A. Okay, so that's another great indicator to support that this is the bottom here. Yeah, it's hit that 1.618 absolutely perfectly. I'm sure any technical analysis traders that are watching this video will, you know, respect this 1.618 figure. And yeah, so that's another indicator why I think that is the bottom. And if we further break down this ABC, so I think we should look at the 4-hourly chart now. That's probably a bit easier to look at the chart. So I make this a 5-wave pattern down. I think we've got a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you've got an A, B, C, and then your C leg is 1, looks like a triangle, wave 2, wave 3, which is equal to wave 1, triangle, wave 4, finishing with a wave 5. This is the end. We've seen a high amount of volume here, and now price is working its way up. So that's the main purpose of this video. I wanted to illustrate that from here Bitcoin is on its way up. Not only is it on its way up, it's in a major wave 3, and wave 3s are your big impulsive waves. That's where people make their money, that's where the banks, the funds, they all make their money. This was all a major wave 1, this was a major wave 2, and next we've got a major wave 3. Now, a quick way I estimate the overall high, so if this is a major 1, we're going to see a major wave 2, we're going to see a 3. Sorry, let me plot this so it's a bit more clear. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, not exactly to scale, I'm just putting these points down on here so you can see each leg. So that's wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, 4, 5. Now the way I try and predict where wave 5 will finish is I find out the extension of wave 1 from the genesis, and I look at the 2.618 extension of wave 1 back from the base of wave 1. So this is where I'm predicting price to go. We just plot a little point there. We're looking around 53,000 there, hence the title of the video, Bitcoin to 50,000. Now that's a very arbitrary figure. As the move develops, we'll be subcounting the waves on the way up, and that will give us a much better idea of where it's going to finish. However, this is a vague estimate. The point I'm trying to make is that we should all be bullish in Bitcoin right now. I believe it's got a very bright future. I've started building up my position. I'm hoping it's going to retrace a little bit so I can add something further to my position. If I just clear this up. So today is 21st of February 2018, and if we look where price is today, let's just show you here. So we got from the bottom of major wave 2 at 6,000, it's gone up to 12,000, so doubled already, and it's starting to retrace. I'll make another video to subdivide this wave, because obviously this is very important now. This is where we trade. The analysis that I made looking at the movement of Bitcoin ever since 2013 tells us the general trend, but in order to trade it we need to be focusing on hourly charts, 4 hourly charts. This is a channel, it's broken out of the channel, likely to retrace further before going back up. I'll make another video on that to explain it further, but yeah, I think that's enough for now. Basically, to summarize, this was the bottom in my opinion. I'm very, I have a strong belief that that's the case, and let's see what happens.